If you're a business with office space in New York City, this video is for you. The stress of the current situation is incredibly uncomfortable and creating lots of questions not only about your remaining lease obligations, but also your future needs. It's got many businesses wondering what they should expect from the office market in the next 6 to 24 months as they plan and make decisions about their future space needs. Today, I'll answer the question of how's the market, which is on the mind of many, and help share my thoughts on what to expect in the short to medium term. Hey everyone, welcome to Greg C TV. My name is Greg Cohen, and I'm here all about educating companies, helping you understand what is market so that you can walk into your next lease with eyes wide open, helping you reduce your real estate expenses and getting you more flexibility on your leases. My goal is for you to get the most out of your commercial real estate and become most efficient with your office space. If you have or want office space or are just interested in this segment of the real estate market, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. So let's get to it. So what's going on? Let's look at a few leading indicators of the market for direction on pricing and availability. Are tenants currently touring office space? No, but no surprise there. Are tenants thinking about office renewals more than 1 year out from lease expiration? Most aren't, unless they have a massive real estate footprint. Are leases being signed? A few, but only those that were either very far along or have lease expirations in the very near term. Lease signings have really grinded to a halt. For context, Q1 saw 4.5 million square feet of leases signed, which is 50% lower than the 10-year quarterly average of 9 million square feet. And that was only 1 month of impact from COVID-19. What should we expect to see from prices? Are they going down? I'd think so. Here's where I can see the softness most likely coming from. 1. Office space demand most likely disappears from the co-working and flexible office providers. While leasing only 3% of the square footage in New York City, the sector did sign 10% of all leases in the last 3 years. That's 10% of the market that probably goes to zero in the near to medium term. Don't expect lots, if any, new leases being signed by this group. In the last few weeks, we've seen lots of concerning headlines about the major players in the space calling into question their long-term viability. Industrious slashing 1/3 of its workforce. WeWork asking for rent relief and making deeper cuts to its staff. Notel giving back 20% of its portfolio. Why is it happening? It's most likely a function of A, decreased demand from their customer base, which is a majority of small businesses and startups, and B, current users questioning the configuration of co-working spaces, given how dense a work environment it is. In fact, the Wall Street Journal just wrote a very interesting piece on this in the last week. 2, decreased demand from TAMI, that's the tech, advertising, and media tenants. They comprise more than 1/3 of all deals signed in the last year. If we strip out FANG, which is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, you've got to think that reduced funding by investors reduces growth and expansion, and as such the demand for office space from this high growth sector. 3, a shift to more remote working. People working differently probably reduces companies' real estate footprints. More telecommuting and more remote work should at the margin reduce the need for some office space. According to a survey of CFOs and finance leaders by Gartner taken at the end of March of this year, 74% intend to move at least 5% of their previously on-site workforce permanently to remote positions. Nearly 1/4 of correspondents said they will move at least 20% of their on-site employees to permanent remote positions. That could be countered by de-densification or more space per employee, but pressure on profits means tenants less likely to want to increase the amount of space they have. 4, an increased number of businesses closing. Unfortunately, there will be businesses that may not be able to survive, which probably puts more pressure on supply. This will come from 2 places. A, landlords getting back space as businesses default, and B, an increase in sublease space coming on the market as companies try to reduce their financial obligations. Right now, 27% of total vacant space is sublease space. Expect that number to increase. Now, for some context of what the impact on the office market could be based on 2 significant events over the last 20 years. After 9/11, the office market in New York saw availability go up for 9 quarters, and then it took 9 quarters to recover. After the great financial crisis, New York saw availability go up for 3 quarters, and then there was an 18-quarter recovery. How this plays out? Well, way too early to tell. And then there's the question of what the office looks like coming out the other side of this. There's been no shortage of suggestions. Everything from voice-activated elevators, automatic entry doors, UV lights, antimicrobial materials on furniture, increased air purifications, to de-densification and more elbow room, to shorten work weeks, to stagger employees in the physical office. I'll be doing a series of interviews over the next few weeks with industry insiders in each of these respective areas, from architecture to furniture, to health and wellness to attorneys, as they opine about the future of the office. As I always do every 30 days in this segment, I'd like to give you an update now on the big deals we've been following in the market. Not surprisingly, a lot of building sales and purchases have been put on hold. 51 West 52nd, the Black Rock, has been pulled off the market until interested parties can visit the site again. While the goal is still to make a sale this year, it's a wait-and-see approach for now. SL Green's sale of the Daily News building to Joe Chetreat fell apart as Deutsche Bank apparently pulled the plug on funding, suggested the press. Aby Rosen's buying spree has hit the brakes as he hits the pause button on his purchase of 900 3rd Avenue and an office condominium at 1600 Broadway. While the sale of 900 3rd may be on hold for the moment, it does appear that Paramount has successfully sold a 10% stake in 1633 Broadway. And finally, it appears that Morris Moynihan has put 1150 6th Avenue, which was meant to be the home to a new hotel development, back on the market. Now it's time for the Greg C. TV question of the day. Which part of this update did you find most helpful? Leave a comment below, and please leave any questions you may have about the current office market or suggestions on topics you'd like me to cover. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. So that's it from me, Greg Cohen, office leasing specialist in New York City. For monthly updates, current information about the office market, tips and tricks about the office leasing process, and my favorite lunch spots in New York City, make sure to subscribe below. Please stay safe and healthy. Look forward to seeing you next time on Greg C. TV. Bye for now.